Me, Tattletail, me love you. Who's there?
The children thought that Mama would never find them as long as she couldn't see them. Come to Mama. Mama will look after you.
Go away, Mama.
Hello everyone, we welcome to a new episode for the Indiews. Today we have a very talented person, an amazing person. Today we have Geneva Hodgson. And say hello, Geneva.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, this is exciting for me. Have a person who is amazing. You know, It's incredible.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Okay. First section, questions about you. The first question is, how did you enter the world of the cartoons?
Well, when I was a little kid, all I cared about was cartoons, really. Then as I got older, I didn't think that I could get into animation. But later on, I don't know, through a series of strange life events, I decided to just give it a try. And I wound up just sort of studying really hard independently. I didn't go to school for animation. I just studied cartoons as much as I could. And I got an opportunity early on. I was really lucky that I went to Emerald City Comic Con and I met Brianne Druhard there, and she is so talented and so nice and so amazing. And she got me an opportunity to take a test for Teen Titans Go, where I was a designer. I did well on my test, and that's how I got in, and I've been in ever since.
Oh, that's interesting, and I hope I can say this. It's amazing. It's incredible. You know, the next question is, what do you consider is your best project have you ever done?
I love every project I've worked on, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm really, really proud of Trick Moon in particular because it was just so exactly what I wanted to do. I feel like I kind of went crazy just doing everything I ever wanted to put into a cartoon. So that was really fun. But I like everything that I've worked on. Honestly, I'm really proud of it all.
The next question is interesting for me, and I want to know, in which do you prefer work more, in video games or animated series?
Well, that's a good question. I think that I belong in animation. It's what I like to do when I'm actually doing it. But video games and independent games in particular is kind of more fun right now because you can make your own things and you can have more control over what gets put out, and you don't have to answer to as many people. In animation, to do your own project, you have to go through a lot of corporate hoops because there's so much money involved, to get these budgets for a show. But in indie games, it's great because you can make a small project, and it's really so much more free, and that's a very, very exciting space for me right now.
Oh, yeah, I love that parts of the indie video games. It's crazy all the things a group of persons can do, and it's very, very cool, very crazy, very amazing. Yeah. Well, the next question is, how do you feel having worked on cartoon series as OKKO?
I loved it so much. It's hard to explain how important working on OKKO was for me. I feel like I really got a chance to be myself, and I made like lifelong friends on that crew, and I'm still really proud of everything that we did. I can't say enough nice things about everybody who worked on that show. Oh, my experience on OKKO was very, very good. Like I said, it really changed my life to be able to, like Ian Jones Cordy, the creator, his philosophy was really to let us all have as much input over the story and the characters as we wanted. And all of us really wanted to. So there's like so much of like our personalities built into that show. It was really fun.
Oh yeah, and I do know. And what about Trick Moon?
Oh, I loved making Trick Moon too. I didn't get to make it full time. I had to make it part time while I was working on OKKO, and so it's kind of a little bit different because it was hard part time on that. Like it wound up being it was a few years that I had to work on it part time. But I absolutely loved the work, especially once we got making the short and all the people I got to work with. It was a really fun process, and everybody I got to work with was so great. Like, really working with good people is like the best part of working in animation, I think. And I had a really good time.
What is the project that you are most excited?
Well, like I said, they're all different. Like, right now, I'm really excited about Neon White, just because it's finally out, and we'd been working on it for so long that like now I'm like all jazzed on Neon White. I think for games, I have a real soft spot for Tattletail, just because that was the first thing that Ben and I made together. Like I think it's very dear to my heart because of that. And for animation, probably Trick Moon was the thing that I'm most proud of in animation, but second would probably be OKKO, just because it was so important to me, and I worked on it for 3 years, so those are really like, that's a longer stretch compared to a lot of other animation jobs.
The next question, maybe it's one of the I consider is the best, but the question is, how did the inspiration to create Neon White come from?
Where did the inspiration for Neon White come from? I had this idea for a name. The name Neon White had been in my head for a little while, and out of nowhere I was like, I think that Neon White would be like a really cool name for like a character. And then Ben and I just started brainstorming about like, you'd be like an assassin, and instead of in hell, he's in heaven. Like that sprung up from those conversations. A lot of our best ideas, I think, just come from talking to each other and playing off of each other's ideas.
Oh, and that's interesting, and I like that. So it's, how can I say this? It's cool hear about the inspiration behind a cool video game. I like Neon White. I played it before, and it's a cool game. I can say it's a cool game.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. And next question is, what currently motivates you to continue with your projects in general?
I guess I just can't really stop. Like, I can tell myself, like, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take a break. Like, right now I've been doing that with our baby. But even doing that, I'm like, oh, I got an idea for like a comic, and maybe we can make it into something else. It's hard to stop really from doing it. It's just something that we do naturally. I think you can't really help it.
That's cute. It's cute and cool, amazing. So, well, this was the first section, and now we can go to the second section of the interview, about a video game who all the internet love, a cool video game, an indie video game. It's Tattletail. Well, the first question is, where did the idea to create Tattletail come from?
It hadn't been that long that I had been dating this guy who makes indie video games, and he was making a game called Donut County, and he had been working on it for a long time, and he was kind of getting tired, a little burned out toward the end of production just because it was taking so long. And so it just so happened that he and I liked to play horror games a lot. Like, we just were playing them for fun all of the time, just sort of a way to blow off some steam. And I had been telling him, like, I don't really see very many games that are hitting toy horror, which is something that I really love because I loved, like, I don't know if you ever read Goosebumps, but like there was The Night of the Living Dummy was the one that scared me the most.
Yeah.
Something about a living toy was very scary to me. And also like, Chucky. So we kind of wanted to make one that was a bit more of like a sort of themed like a creepypasta, but based off of our childhoods, instead of, earlier than that, we're not like, we didn't grow up with ventriloquist dummies, so I really wanted to do that, and I also really love Christmas. Like, I think that's a really fun theme. So we sort of thought of a way to bring it all together with this kid who opens their present early and commits that sin. So we came up with that general concept through conversations, and then I came up with the name and I designed the character. It was very organically, just like through talking to Ben, that we came up with it.
I love Tattletail because it's a crazy video game. I love that concept of the creepy furby mama. I love that. And well, the next question is, why a ritual has performed on the final night of the game?
Oh, I can't explain it all. Some things should just speak for themselves, I think.
So, well, that's the next question I want to know about this. Was a Tattletail Papa Tattletail ever planned?
We never made any plans for Papa Tattletail. I can't even speak to his paternity.
I wanted to say Papa Tattletail. I don't know. We have Mama Tattletail. Why no a Papa Tattletail?
I guess because we mostly were making a game, I think, that was about the character's relationship to his mom. I guess their mom. Like, there's this sort of, you don't even see the main character's dad, and there's no reference to the dad. There's only a reference to the mom. And she is asleep. She's totally out of the picture. And I think that, like, that tension there where you really want your mom, I think that like was sort of what we were more interested in. I'll be honest with you, part of the story originally was a little bit based on my childhood, and I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't know my dad. So we have this sort of theme about, like, you have this tension with your mom in particular. So I never really thought about Papa Tattletail, it was so interesting because I never thought about it at all. And then when it came out, people were like, "Where's the Papa?" And I'm like, yeah. So maybe we'll explore that someday.
Yeah. The next question is, how did you feel knowing that Tattletail was a part of some people's childhood?
Oh, how do I feel about the fact that people say Tattletail was my childhood. I love it. I think it's so fun that people think that way about it. Because, like I said, in a lot of ways, the game is a little bit about my childhood. And I think it's really funny that there's like the built-in nostalgia, and now people are actually just nostalgic for it. And I think that's really sweet. I think it's really special.
Yeah, Tattletail is special. I think maybe that game, it's not just a simple video game. It's an amazing video game. It's an experience. It's cool.
I'm so glad you liked it.
And the question is, was Tattletail special to you at some point in your life?
Was Tattletail special to me? Yes, very special. Like I said, it was the first thing that Ben and I made together. So to me, it's very important to me. And like I said, it's kind of a little bit based on. I mean, obviously, I didn't actually get chased by a evil doll, but it's a little bit personal to me too. I don't know if anybody ever noticed. There are these photos all around the house of like a little kid, like some little kids, and there's also like a photo of a rocket ship in a park. Those were photos from my childhood, and that rocket ship is from my hometown's park. The town in Tattletail is called Decent, Illinois, and my hometown was called Dwight, Illinois. But they have the same zip code.
I love that. It's special for me. It's special for people of the internet. So we can say Tattletail, it's not just a simple horror game. It's how can I say this? Amazing video game. It's an experience. It's Tattletail. We love Tattletail.
I'm so glad you do. That means a lot to me.
The next question is: in some point, Ben and you plan release official merch of the game?
Merch. Oh, we wanted to do merchandise. It hasn't quite worked out yet. But we did agree to do something with a company at some point. But I think that maybe they changed direction, and I don't know. It just happens sometimes.
Oh, I wanted I don't know, a plush of Tattletail too.
I did too.
Well, next question is about DLC, the expansion of the Kaleidoscope. Yeah, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, Kaleidoscope.
Okay. The first question is, I want to know, is it canon on the history?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's canon.
Oh my gosh!
It's abstract, but it's canon.
Oh gosh! New Tattletail series. The next question is, okay, the DLC is canon. Okay, could that affect to the plot of any possible sequel of the game?
I think that we have some ideas for possible Tattletail sequels, but right now Ben is focusing on other things, and I think that if we did do a Tattletail sequel, it would only be when we are 100% sure that the story needs to be told in a particular way. Like, we want to make sure that we're not just pumping out something to capitalize on, people liking it, which we do love that people like it, but we want to make sure that the story calls for it.
Oh, okay. And the next question is, why the DLC is confusing and weird? Why? It's how can I say this? It's strange. Mama, it's good, and all the dreams. That's I don't know crazy.
It's very strange. It's very strange. But we wanted to do something kind of about memory. The way that it's like, you know, got this sort of the original game has this sort of what's that called? The Mandela effect sort of feeling to it, because it's supposed to feel like it was from 1998. So when we were doing the kaleidoscope, we wanted to kind of play with that and like sort of view it as you're experiencing this thing from the past, and you're kind of exploring your own memories from the past and your own relationship to that. So it's a little bit more abstract. Like it's definitely it's strange. We wanted to kind of take it to the next level about like the reality of it and the memory of it to play with that.
Okay, and the next question is not on the script, but my friend wants to know. Have you ever heard about Tattletail songs like Mama Hates You or Don't Tattle Me? Of the songs?
I have heard some of those. I remember Don't Tattle on Me, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that people were doing those fan songs. Like, what an honor. Really cool.
Yeah, and Don't Tattle Me, it's the best. For me, it's the best. So,
yeah, I still sing it sometimes.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. The next question is, how the idea of the kaleidoscope come from? Where?
Well, I kind of tried it on this a little bit before, but we wanted to just kind of play with the whole Mandela effect idea of it all. Like, we were really interested in the idea of like sort of false memories and your memories sort of being able to change over time, because memories, I don't know if you know this, like they're not just like stored in your brain, they're actually something that you recreate every time you remember them. So like you don't just like have this little like piece in your brain that's dedicated to an event that happened. You build that event every time you remember it, and over time that can erode or change and be subject to change. Like you can sort of be influenced to forget or to misremember. And we just thought that idea was really interesting. So we wanted to play with the threat of having your memory messed with in that way.
Oh, okay. Now, next questions about the future of Tattletail. So the first question is, what is the current status of the possible Tattletail animated series?
Well, it's not really anything right now. I made a deck that I'm really happy with, and we came up with some really cool ideas that would work in the ideas from the game and build on them and have more lore and stuff. But I pitched it to several studios, and you know, with pitching, it's all about timing. And I was pitching this in 2020, and that was about the time when the studios really shifted gears to be a little bit, they're taking less risks now. And you know, when you're pitching, even if you have an idea that people really like, if they already have, oh, we already have a ghost show, we can't do another one, or oh, we already have a mystery show, we're not going to do another one. You gotta really time these things just right, and sometimes by sheer bad luck, you're not gonna hit it. So right now, it's a really cool idea that I have all this cool art for and some interesting writing that I would love to share, but I can't, because the moment you share these things, then you can't pitch them anymore. So I'm holding on to that just in case we can do something with it.
Okay. And the next question is, well, I know you and Ben don't plan forget about Tattletail, but is there some reason why you and Ben haven't explored a game of the game?
I mean, really, it's just that we have so many other ideas. So, you know, it's we haven't really. I wish that I could make more ideas more quickly, but unfortunately, games and cartoons just take so much time. So we really wanted to make Neon White. That had been in the works for a really long time, and now Ben is on to something else. Also very exciting that he's wanted to do for a long time. So we kind of got a backlog of things we need to do.
Oh, that's the reason. So well, it's interesting, and Well, let's wait more years for maybe Tattletail. Yeah, I have hope of maybe Tattletail 2 on, I don't know, next year.
I mean,
Next year.
I always have hope too. Like, I really love Tattletail, and I definitely want to do something else with it. It's just a matter of when is a good time.
Oh, okay. And the next question is maybe about what you think. Well, if at some point there was a sequel, what would you like it to be?
Okay, so I can't say exactly what I want because Ben would be upset with me if I shared. But
Yeah.
to me, I will say I would like to do something that sort of feels like a lost Nintendo 64 game. That's all I can say. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe.
If this, yeah, maybe, yeah. Well, if the sequel exists, maybe, will it add new characters or you see old?
Probably I would bet we would add new characters. Like, I would like to, but I can't say who.
Yeah. Maybe Papa Tattletail. Yeah, we
Never
want
know.
Papa Tattletail. Well, in the final part of the interview, questions about Trick Moon. And the first question is, what is the current status of the series?
Well, I received news from Cartoon Network that they're no longer developing it, and so I haven't heard any new news from them since then. They've honestly canceled a lot of projects since then too. Like, I'm not the only one whose project got lost in that merger. And then there's been another merger since that also a lot of projects were lost in. So nothing right now. I wish I had news, but you never know. Sometimes these things can change.
Oh, I have a question. Is there some reason why Cartoon Network don't want you, how can I say this, support the series? Why? Is some specific reason?
You know, probably not. I really don't take the thing personally at all because, like I said, there was a merger. For those of you who didn't know, AT&T bought the Time Warner, etc. Corporate umbrella, and during that time there was a change in leadership. And usually this happens a lot where if there's a new CEO or a new creative leader, they don't want anything that happened before they arrived. They want all new things that they feel like they got to be a part of choosing and developing. And like I said, that happened in 2020 is when the leadership changed. And then it happened again recently this year where Discovery bought the whole thing too. So it happened again. It's just what happens in the corporate world, unfortunately.
Okay. And the next question is, how did the idea come from about Trick Moon?
Well, actually, the genesis of that idea is that my friend Ryan Shannon and she wrote on Neon White, and she did the voice of Tattletail. But she and I have worked on a bunch of things together, and she and I also were in a D&D campaign, literally probably 10 years ago now. And we had these two characters who were sisters. They were Catgirl sisters, actually. And they were an archer and a thief. And we had so much fun together that I really wanted to do something more with those characters. And those characters eventually became Pocket and Trickshot. And so that was really the genesis of it, that it was just playing with my friend and having fun. And I feel like that's one of the most fun parts about the series too, is that it would have been about two siblings who love each other and like are dumb and get into trouble because of it.
Well, and who's your favorite character?
In Trick Moon?
Yeah.
You know, maybe I love them all. Actually, I think that they all have their own quirks. Pocket is my favorite to draw for sure.
Yeah.
And I think I relate the most to the prince. I understand the prince, his predicament a lot. Not because I'm stuck in a stone, obviously, but.
In fact, my favorite character is Pocket. She's cute and funny. I love when she takes the tail of the dragon and she smelled and yeah, that was funny. And she says something like, "Wow, one for my collection," and that thing. I love that part of the.
One for my collection.
She's cute and funny.
Thank you. I'm glad you like her. I love her too.
And what was the inspiration to the design of Trick Shot?
Trick Shot? Gosh. I mean, I'll be honest, like Sonic is obviously a pretty big inspiration on me. I knew that I really wanted to do characters that have the big head and the like bean body and the tube legs. Yeah. So like that was something that I knew I always wanted to do, you know, very Sonic the Hedgehog, Felix the Cat, Mickey Mouse sort of build. Like that's like my favorite thing to draw. And then Trick Shot, like, you know, he changed a lot. Like I had to change him many times, but I'd say that like the Felix Mickey Mouse Sonic body is like the biggest inspiration.
Oh, and what's about Pocket?
I mean, kind of the same thing, right? Like she has that same body, but she has this cute hood element that is from my friend Ryan. Her D&D character had that hood with the cat ears, and I just like loved that. So I wanted to do that. And then later on, we had Stevie Borboya. She did character design, a pass on it. She did these really lovely sketches, and she did this cute thing where she had these the cheeks. And I just loved that, like right away. So that definitely was a big element. Like I love that. Like it's sort of a, you know, like Pikachu cheeks. I love that.
This question maybe you have answered, but I want to ask you it again. Do you plan to return the series at some point?
I would love to, but I don't own it, so I actually can't do something with it legally. I definitely can't make money off of it, and that means it's very hard for me to do it. Because I mean, I hate to say it like that because it sounds like all I want is money, but that's not true. But I do need to make a living, so it's tough. Like you have to figure out a way that you can make money off of your art if you want to do it full time, and it's not easy for me to figure out how to do that. I would have to buy the rights back, which is really expensive. And then on top of that, it's like, how do I get people to spend money on a cartoon? You can't really do that. Like people don't, you know, people go on YouTube and they can see all sorts of stuff for free. Why would they pay me for it? So.
Man, to return to series, maybe have you think maybe I don't know, Disney or?
Oh, like, do you think Disney or Nickelodeon would pick it up?
Yeah.
You know, I've pitched it to Disney. I didn't hear back from them. I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible because a lot of people have done the impossible already, but I wouldn't count on it right now.
Okay. It's hard to say, but it's crazy. But have you ever think, I don't know, in a crossover in Trick Moon and Tattletail? I know, it's crazy. And
I never thought of that. It's a really funny idea, though. Thank you. My baby is kind of losing it, so I probably can only answer one or two more questions.
Yeah, don't worry. This is the end of the interview anyway. So, that will be all for the interview. I want to say thank you again for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for make this for a little fan. And well, I hope see you work, and you're cool. And Ben, it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool man. And
Thank you so much.
and thank you so much. And well, see you next time. Goodbye.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.